Welcome back to another explainer. Today we're going on an absolutely breathtaking, hyper-realistic journey right into the heart of a high-tech manufacturing plant. We're breaking down the cinematic anatomy of something so completely everyday, so normal, you probably have one running near you right now, the electric fan. But trust me on this, you have never seen it quite like this before. Okay, let's dive into this, because we're looking at this entire factory floor tour through a very specific, intensely visual lens. Just imagine an ultra-realistic, cinematic, industrial documentary. We're talking 8K HDR resolution, dramatic lighting, and volumetric effects capturing every single tiny detail. We aren't just talking about how a basic appliance is made. No, we're going to experience the modern manufacturing process as a deeply sensory visual masterpiece. So here is our factory floor plan for today. First up, raw materials and molding. Second, the precision motor production line. Third, assembly and quality control. Fourth, packaging and global distribution. And finally, the cinematic industrial aesthetic. Basically, we'll follow this product from the loading dock all the way to global shipping. All right, section 1, raw materials and molding, the building blocks. I really want you to picture this in your mind. Soaring aerial drone shots sweeping over a colossal plant, finally landing at the vast loading docks. Here is where the foundational elements arrive. We're looking at enormous shipments of raw steel and aluminum, massive heavy spools of copper wire. Honestly, it's a completely shocking volume of copper, and giant bins filled with these highly durable plastic pellets. Just unassuming materials sitting there, primed and ready for a total high-tech transformation. So how exactly do those tiny little plastic pellets become a fan? Well, through the incredible power of automated injection molding machines. Step 1 involves rapidly molding the aerodynamic fan blades. Step 2 forms those recognizable front and rear grills, the ones that keep our fingers out of the spinning blades. And Step 3 creates the sturdy motor housings and the bases. These massive machines use intense heat and literally immense pressure to stamp and press raw pellets into perfect structural components in mere seconds. It's wild. But the molding is really just the rough draft. Watch as we slow things down here and zoom in on these robotic arms. They're meticulously trimming away any excess plastic and polishing every single edge. It's this gorgeous micronarrative of absolute precision. The machines don't just shape the parts, they perfect them, ensuring every single piece has a flawless finish before it can move any further down the line. Moving on to Section 2, Precision Motor Production Line, the heart of the machine. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this is where we pivot from those large, heavy plastic molds to the highly intricate, incredibly delicate construction of the electric motor. This is where the machine actually gets its life. What we see here is a fascinating mechanical choreography. In Step 1, highly precise computer-controlled CNC machines take that raw copper wire from the loading dock and rapidly wind it onto the stators. Those are the stationary parts of the motor, and the speed is just mesmerizing. Then, in Step 2, we watch the spinning rotor assembly and the crucial installation of the metal shaft. Finally, in Step 3, the bearings are hydraulically pressed into place. It's a beautifully orchestrated dance of metal components building the motor's core. And right in the middle of this exact, clean precision, boom, we get the raw, unbridled power of robotic welding. Bright, brilliant sparks flying aggressively across the assembly line. It's a highly dramatic, totally cinematic moment happening right on the factory floor, capturing the intense heat and immense force required to fuse these metal components permanently together. But, as we know, raw power is absolutely nothing without control and reliability. So before this newly built motor can move forward, it goes through intense quality assurance. We see automated soldering cleanly locking connections into place, but we also see vital quality inspections by human engineers. They use precision balancing machines and highly advanced computer-controlled assembly stations to verify everything. It's this rigorous, perfect blend of human oversight and robotic perfection. All right, Section 3, Assembly and Quality Control, coming together. And this brilliantly illustrates the pivotal stage where the outer protective plastic shell and that newly tested, rapidly spinning heart are finally united. And it happens with humans and robots working seamlessly side by side. It illustrates a rapid, super complex assembly where all these separate pieces become a functional machine. Workers and robots attach the fan blades to the motor shaft, they install the protective grills, carefully add the oscillation mechanisms so the fan can sweep back and forth, wire up the speed control switch and the power cord, and finally secure the whole shebang to a sturdy base. Just watching it all lock together piece by piece is incredibly satisfying. Now, let's take a closer look. I mean, a much closer look. Through macro close-up shots, we see the microscopic precision of this final assembly. We watch the exact torque of screws being tightened into the plastic housings. We see the precise, careful application of lubrication on the moving joints. The camera brings us in so close that we can almost feel the texture of the metal. It really highlights the incredible attention to detail at this crucial stage. So the crucial point here is that a fully assembled fan isn't actually finished yet. Not even close. It has to face rigorous final testing. These are the vital, often unseen hurdles that guarantee both high performance and your safety as a consumer. The units undergo strict electrical testing, highly sensitive airflow measurement, noise testing to make sure it won't keep you awake with some weird rattle, and finally, strict safety certifications. Which brings us to Section 4, Packaging and Global Distribution, ready for the world. Let's zoom the camera back out from those microscopic screws and electronic tests all the way back to the massive macro scale of the factory for final logistics. The fan is complete, and the automated packaging process takes over. Step 1 involves the final painting and branding, officially stamping the manufacturer's identity onto the machine. In Step 2, the completed fans are meticulously wrapped, boxed, and cleanly labeled. Finally, Step 3 introduces robotic palletizers. These towering machines effortlessly lift and stack the completed units into perfectly squared pallets, like a giant game of Tetris. Let's move to and see how this builds a complete picture on our timeline. We started with the arrival of raw steel and plastic pellets. We moved through the intricate motor winding and the precise final assembly. Then, we watched robotic palletizing stack the boxes. And now, forklifts load those cartons into massive shipping containers. The camera pans across rows upon rows of finished electric fans, ready for worldwide distribution. It is a stunning, end-to-end life cycle across the factory floor. Finally, Section 5, the cinematic industrial aesthetic, visualizing the process. We've covered the mechanics, sure, but let's take a quick moment to look at exactly how this specific documentary style elevates the physical manufacturing process into something truly spectacular. This is definitely not grainy security footage. We're talking about 8K HDR resolution that captures shadows and light with hyper-realism. Dramatic lighting and volumetric effects, like visible shafts of light piercing through the factory dust, make the heavy machinery look almost heroic. We see time-lapse sequences compressing hours of production into literal seconds, and a shallow depth of field that purposefully blurs the background to focus your eye right on the action. Professional color grading and incredibly smooth camera movements literally turn a mechanical process into a work of visual art. Because it's not just what you see, but what you feel. The realistic factory ambience is completely palpable on screen. The hiss of steam, the burst of bright sparks, the glint of light off highly detailed, perfectly machined surfaces. These lush sensory details cement a vivid, deeply immersive atmosphere. You feel like you are standing right there on the production line with them. Which brings us to a fascinating final thought. When you look at the sheer scale, the robotic precision, and the intricate high-tech dance required to build something so common, how does witnessing the hyper-realistic complexity of this manufacturing process change how you view the everyday electric fan sitting in your home right now? Seriously, think about it. The next time you switch it on to cool down, you just might hear that hidden cinematic symphony of steel, copper, and automation. Thanks for diving into this explainer with me, and keep staying curious.